What up, guys? Talking with Tonka, episode 8, almost to 10. So today we have a very special guest. I actually make a joke with him. He's the third smartest guy I know.
Third?
Yeah, you've moved to third. Shout out to DJAJ, a.k.a. the rocket scientist, AJ Zampella. What's up, man?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
I was joking with you before. I was a little worried. I was like, oh, man.
What do I got to talk about?
I was worried that, Tonka's, is his show failing already? Like, he's
Yes,
inviting me on.
Yeah, I need to pull at everybody I know for this. But the joke is always like, you're the third smartest guy I know now because my dad's obviously number one. And then Joe Z might have bumped you.
It's funny. It's really funny you should say this because I was thinking about this earlier today because we always joke about this, right?
Yeah.
Joe being a doctor and, and a DJ. And I thought to myself, because I always argued, I'm like, I think I'm smarter. It hit me today. I'm not. I'm actually really not that smart. I think I just have like a smart sounding job. So I was like, oh, you must be really smart. And I was like, no, I'm good at solving problems and like finding simple solutions.
You're good at math.
I'm good at math. I'm not even that good at math. Like,
What?
I'm really not.
Oh my God.
I really thought about this a lot earlier today. I'm good at figuring out problems and fixing things.
Yeah.
But like Joe is like, he's a doctor. He's smart.
He's like he just came back from somewhere crazy, the Philippines or something. He was like curing people in the woods.
Yeah, I know how to organize people to go get work done.
Yeah. So you're an organizer.
I'm good at getting people together and figuring out tough problems.
Yeah,
That's
I should let you organize my next party. Get people.
Oh, I'm there.
So I think I gotta see if Joe's coming to Philly anytime soon. He'd be a really interesting person to talk to,
dude.
I want to say he was just in like I said, the Philippines in like the forest or something. Like I was like in like helping like villagers.
That's really cool too, right? Because I think that's, especially when you're a doctor, you don't get a lot of opportunities to really go and help people like at that level.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a doctor or somebody bringing food or medicine to like those types of parts of the world. Like I couldn't go to like we're not going to go to like a somewhere in the jungle and say, hey guys, we're here to really help you by DJing. Like, no, it's like, just
you guys
want
to dance for a half an hour? We got you.
Yeah.
But like dancing cures everything.
It does, right? It's like a little Patch Adams thing.
So I want to say that you're the first person that didn't get lost coming here.
So, we talked about this before. Yeah. So this is my second time here. I think I'd been here like years ago.
Yeah.
So you and I have known each other for a while. And I want to say if you want, it's like 2011, believe it or not.
Oh, you looked it up?
Well, because it hit me, right? So like, I think I got to know a lot of you guys when I first moved to Manayunk.
Right.
Started coming out here a lot. And you remember like our big trip? We went to Summer Jam.
Yeah.
Right? That was awesome.
In that 1987 Lincoln limo.
It got us there.
Yeah, I think it was dusty, but it was so cool. And it's so funny to see those pictures now.
Oh yeah, right.
Like
it's so weird.
Daly looks exactly the same.
I know. Daly looks the same.
Nine has less of a V-neck.
It's not as deep, right?
Yeah. That was a crazy experience because like I never thought I would go to that concert.
Well, it's funny because like you
didn't even really know us either.
Well, and that was the whole thing. Like, so I had kind of I was out of college. I was DJing over in so I'd gone to Villanova. I was DJing a lot of the bars there, and I got to Manayunk because I was like working with like a hip hop group, and I came out to DJ one of their events that they did at Mad River.
Oh, okay.
But like Josh Medeiros was one of the managers. He brought did it a long time ago, right? So this is like he brought this Villanova crew in to come perform. So I came out that night. I got to know everybody. It was like a big Mad River party, and I just started hanging out. And I got this opportunity to go. I'm like, well, I want to bring people that like are going to enjoy this and appreciate it. So I'm like, well, I just met all these like DJ guys. Like, like I know they like this type of. I know they like music. Like, I feel like they would enjoy this. So I was like, hey guys, you want to come to this thing?
Yeah.
we'll just get a limo and go up, and it was awesome. That was fun though.
I was still my.
Yes, this is a long time.
That was before my fiance. So that was definitely before I lived here.
Yeah, because I had just started getting to know everybody here at that time.
Ex-fiance, by the way. I make sure I get that clear. I am no longer with this woman.
But yeah, I mean, it was a long time. Because I remember like probably I think a year after that you bought this place.
Yeah. I want to say in 2012 I moved here.
Right.
Yeah.
So to kind of bring the story like full circle. So I'd been to your house like one other time years ago. I forget why, but I like looked it up. I'm like, where the hell is this place? And I parked like on the street somewhere, and I'm like, I'm not even close.
Yeah.
Like, so I ended up crossing over a bridge and going up
that's
like
what everybody
huge
has
steps.
to do.
I'm like, where is this guy? But it hit me like, I looked at the map before I started driving here. I'm like, I know you're on this road that's like really deep in the cut. So like, let me find it. And I'm like, oh, I know where this road is. Like I used to I used to pass this road every freaking
where
day.
Does that go?
I'm like, that's where Eric lives?
It goes to Narnia. That's what I tell everybody.
Dude.
If you guys want to go
nowhere.
Literally. And that's what one of the big selling points of me when I was renting here for 7 years and then I bought it off my landlord. So I probably paid off half his mortgage. So he probably made like $70,000 when I bought this house. But developers are buying all around here, right?
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, there's only 10 houses. One guy on the end just passed away, so that house is vacant. And I think there's one more house on the street that's like a couple of them are renters, right? So easily sellable. So I'm like, oh man, someone's gonna buy these, right? So they bought that empty lot right next to where you parked. Someone bought that, and someone bought the lot on this side. So I'm like, it's only a matter of time, right? So someone comes and buys these. Someone offers me like $350,000. I'm out.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say somebody did offer you.
No. So I actually met. I was actually like, I'm still friends with him, but it was my ex's girlfriend's boyfriend at the time. He lives right down the street. They're not together anymore. And then I'm not with her anymore. So like we actually became close. He's a golfer and he plays hockey. So we hit it off like right away. He works in development. That's what he does.
Oh, that's awesome.
And like, so all these new developments. So he's like, yo, you get everybody on board, I'll get you a buyer. And I was like, so I talked to my old lady neighbor and she's like, yeah, I don't want to leave. And I was like, so she's one of those, I think she would have to see the money in front of her face. And then she was like, all right, I'm down.
And I think for some people, right, you're in a house for so long.
Yeah.
You're like, well,
she's been there like 7 years.
Yeah. And like, I don't want to move. It's like, dude, moving is a process.
No, thank you. That's why I bought this place.
Oh, can I tell you the story about when we moved from Maine? This is bad. This is real bad.
Yeah, you lived over on...
We live right behind Roxborough High School.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
So for like 5 years, right? Mm-hmm. And I loved our house. It was awesome. But like we started to feel kind of cramped. And you're in a row home. You hear everything.
Yeah.
You're right on top of each other. We had a guy next door, awesome family, but like they were constantly doing construction. We had the kids on the other side. It was just loud. And it felt like the house was getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So we decided to move. So we put up for sale, and it worked out. Like we really lucked out in the fact that we bought it at a good time, sold it right before COVID. So like the housing market was starting to take off.
Yeah.
So we got out, moved down to Jersey. So now this is where it gets bad. So me being like the cheapskate that I am, I told my wife, I was like, Nicole, I was like, I'm gonna pack the whole house up. We're gonna put it in storage, and then I'm gonna get a moving truck, and we're gonna load it and drive to Jersey. And she's like, just hire somebody. I was like, no. I got this. I didn't have it.
So, midway through the move, fuck this.
Everything was going so well. I had all the storage. Everything's packed up. We're loading the truck at like the last couple things in. And it's like the storage units, like if you're coming down, I don't remember the roads anymore, like off Main Street before you go up, like, is it Crescent?
Umbria,
before you go up Umbria, if you go to the left.
On Leverton there.
Yeah, so all the way down and around, there's storage units. So we were all in there. It was great. I'm like, this whole U-Haul truck packed up. I feel like such a badass driving this big truck. Loaded up. I go to pull out of the lot, and then I guess there was a piece of metal sticking out of the guardrail. It caught the side of the truck and ripped the whole back end of the truck off.
Oh my God.
Like 30-foot truck full of everything we own. I'm like, oh my God. So
my jaw is on the ground in case you guys can't see.
I'm stuck. It's like what do I do?
Yeah.
So I figured it out eventually. I had to like call, wait for people. I had to like rush to Jersey because it was the day of our closing. So I quickly closed. We were like, oh, cool, we got a house. Drive all the way back over here. And I'm sitting, like, I had Nicole drop me off, and I'm sitting there waiting for this like monstrous truck to come, like load strap the whole truck, wrapped it up, and just like towed it to Jersey. And like, we're in this brand new house. I finally get there at like 4:00 in the morning at like this humongous fucking truck pulling down the cul-de-sac. Like, oh, these guys are gonna hate us.
Yeah.
Like we're just making all this noise, and I'm like, this is the worst. This couldn't get anywhere.
Yeah.
It worked out in the end, but like everything that could have gone wrong that day just went wrong.
Well, so did you have the insurance on the truck?
Best $10 I've ever spent in my entire life.
Thank God,
dude. I will never like the bet. I'm gonna look in the camera. Always check the box. Like
$10, I'm checking that
dude,
damn box.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like $10, check the box. And I called them, and they're like, "Okay, you're all taken care of." I was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I'm all good, right?" Like, "Yeah, you're fine. Just go." I was like, "Yes."
Wow.
Yeah.
So that $10 box isn't like garbage. It's like a real deal.
No, and it like in the grand scheme of things, $10. It's like just
just check the damn box.
Just check. I will never. And it was just dumb luck because I never check. I was like, it's a big truck. Let me just check it. Whatever.
Damn.
Thank God.
So how much did it cost to rent the truck for? I guess 2 full days, right? Yeah.
So we only had a rental for one day. I mean, it's like $100-something to rent the truck. This big 30-foot truck.
Yeah.
And an extra $10.
Sign me up.
Yeah,
I know I'm not asking to help me move. Though.
I'm very good at.
You can help me move. You just can't move the truck.
I'm very good at packing trucks. Never ask me to drive.
Are you a Jenga guy? Were you good at Jenga, Tetris?
So when I worked in college, I had a job working for a sound and lighting company. So we were like on campus. This is kind of how I like really got into DJing more.
Yeah.
I worked for a sound and lighting company in college, and we had like a 22-foot like van.
Yeah.
We had to pack all our stuff in there, and it's a lot of stuff to pack in a little space.
Oh yeah.
So I got real good at spatially fitting crap in there.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I bought my Tiguan actually, because like I looked at the back, I measured it, I was like, I wonder if my speakers and my controller will fit back here. Everything fits perfectly. Door shuts. You won't even know stuff is back there.
Dude, it's like the best feeling when you can close the back here. When you think like, I have so much stuff here, and your trunk closes.
Boom. It's like, it's like satisfying. It's like
really is.
It's like hearing like the wrapper on top of like ice cream open. It's like, or Pringles cans. What's that? That's like a thing. ASR or whatever the hell it's called. ADR or whatever.
ASMR. Is that
yeah,
what it is?
ASMR.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that in the description.
And like people are just like,
it.
here it is.
The one episode with Jimmy 6ix9ine was like, yo, ASMR people are going nuts right now. All they can hear is you chewing ice because we had Tonka teas that day. So I was like, oh god. So that's one thing I try not to do now. Is like I'll have a bottle of water or something. Like I have Liquid Death for us today, but they finally came in the mail. Yeah, it's fun. I don't know what's up with Amazon, right? So Liquid Death,
I can't find your house. Dude.
Well, that's also one of the problems. Like the newer drivers have no idea, but. I used to get the subscription off their website, and they were like, you could save $6 by going through Amazon because of the Prime, right? So I'm not paying shipping. So I'm like, but it kind of worked out getting on Liquid Death's website because I got like free T-shirts with all the points I had and all this stuff. And now, since I canceled it, and now I'm on Amazon Prime's subscription thing, half the time they can't find my friggin' house. So like half the time I don't get the water. So I get 2 boxes a month, right? That lasts me all month because I have I don't drink it all the time. I have for like the guests and
it is really good, by the way.
Yeah,
like, I don't think I've ever actually had a Liquid Death before. It's good.
It's something about the aluminum can, man. Yeah. It's just like Pepsi tastes better in a can. Like a lot of things just taste better in a can.
Except Bud Light. Bud Light is much better in a bottle. I will fight people on this.
Yeah, I actually don't like Bud Light, so I'm gonna take your word for it. Because I had a actually funny beer story. We're totally going off the beaten path. That's what I love about talking.
I forget how we got here. By the way, it doesn't matter.
If you're listening, drop a comment on how we got here. But I was like, I want to say I was like 8 years old. I have an older brother. His name's Tom. He's 62 years old. Right, just to put it in perspective. Back then, he was like our age, well, my age. I'm 39. He was probably around the same age. So, he's had a party and he had to watch me, right? So he was like, "Oh, like let's just party. You can just hang out with us, So I'm like hanging out, and one of his buddies let me try a Bud Light.
Wait, like, how old were you then?
I'm like 8, maybe 9, and he lets me try it. I puke immediately because I chugged it like a soda. So I thought it was like a soda. So I puked like 2 seconds after I gave it back to him. So every time I smell like a Bud Light or a Coors Light, I immediately get like nauseous.
Oh, how did you survive like working at Mad River for all those years?
Trust me, leaving that place when it's all over the ground. Oh God.
And like, because it's funny because I talked to a lot of people about this. And people probably think we're weird the way we talk about Mad River, like it was like this elite, social nightlife organization. No, but it was like the place that we all hung out. But we were it was like you had your things that you drank, right? And like Mad River was very Bud Light and like Jameson and then Fireball heavy. But how did you survive working at Mad River for all those years?
Well, thankfully, when White Claw came out, they used to keep Black Cherry and like how it came in the little boxes, right. And Ditz would just throw me the box in the beginning of the night and said, "Have fun," know. But before that, I was drinking like just vodka waters or I don't even know. Well, back then I wasn't on a diet. I was drinking like Twisted Tea Lights and stuff, like too.
Oh, I remember that Tonka.
Yeah, fat Tonka, man. That's what I was saying. Those pictures from that thing, I was humongous.
This is like way long ago. So you were like what? So weight range wise, do you remember how much heavier you were?
I was still breakdancing and DJing then, so like I would say I was probably, if I had to guess, I was probably like 190-ish, probably.
Like I feel like you seemed like you were bigger than that.
Yeah. Thanks.
I don't, no, it's funny.
You know what's funny? Guess how much I weigh right now?
I heard you say it the other day. You're like 216, right?
Yeah. Do I look I don't look 216.
No, but that's what I mean. And I know this because I listen to all the podcasts.
Yeah, I love that because I have some guests that come on there like, I've never listened to an episode. I'm like, well, I wish I'd have known that before I asked you to be on it. Because like if I'm going to be on a podcast, I want to listen to it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
And I think for me, so like I'm big on when I drive like to and from work. So you have like a 40-minute commute. So like I am constantly listening to something because like I don't know. You would think as a DJ, you listen to the radio. No, like the radio, like the radio's gotten like so bad. Like
I have XM. I listen to XM radio now.
See, that's clutch. Like I don't have XM again. Cheapskate. Rented the U-Haul instead of hiring somebody. But like, I listen to like a lot of podcasts. I'm constantly on like YouTube listening to like tutorials about how to like do stuff. I have like this weird like need to learn new stuff all the time. Like
you need to organize your next event.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's because I'm always trying to like what's the new thing? Like, what could I be doing? Like, this is so cool. Let me go learn about it. But like, so like I listen to like podcasts all the time. So there's always something playing in my car.
So it's so weird, man. Like you probably know this. Like after a gig, I don't listen to anything. It's like I'm dead silence.
Dude, I remember because didn't you pick us up from like the airport once? And drive us like Nicole and I home from somewhere.
Yeah, from Disneyland. I told you to bring me a shirt.
Right.
Yeah, I still never got the shirt.
No, I gave you the shirt.
No.
Oh shoot, no, something happened.
I think he might have lost it in the U-Haul move.
Probably. No, I feel like I found it years later, and I thought I gave it to you.
No,
I remember it because it was a Donald Duck T-shirt that I think said DJ Tonka on it. I'll have to get you another. I'll have to go. Next time I go, I'll get you another one.
It said Tonka on it?
Yeah, because I got it personalized to say something.
Oh, I definitely don't have this shirt. I would have framed it. It would be in this room. My shrine of my cool shit.
All right.
Like, I have actually a couple cool things that... so I had the car from each one of these Back to the Futures.
Do you really?
Yeah, like the little die cast John. So I'm either going to put the shelf below it or above it of just like a little shelf just for the car.
You should do it. I think above would be my thought, just because it kind of looks cooler, and then also but nobody's going to bump into it then.
Yeah. I just don't know if it would be like that. Maybe I'll put it on like an angle just so you can like see it. But
like tilt it down.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I have I'm a big Voltron nerd.
I know.
So, like, I have, like, a bunch of his collectibles, like, his Legos. I'm afraid to put it together. It stands, like, this tall. It goes this from here to here. And it's, like, 10,000 pieces or something. Oh. So I'll never put that thing together. Like,
why not?
I forget who it was. Someone said that, yo, you give me $100, I'll do it. I was like, what?
You know who's a big Lego nerd?
Who?
Kevin DeStefano.
That's who told me. That's it.
Yeah, Kevin. So like,
I couldn't think of who it was.
And I know this because I also big nerd, right? Yeah. So like, I had a bunch of Legos I was going to get rid of. I just had this big box from like my parents' house.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, what are you going to do with them?" I was like, "I think I'm just going to throw them." He goes, "Oh, I'll take them." I was like, "All right, sold."
Well, he's an engineer, so that makes sense.
And he loves because he plays with the kids. Plays with the kids but he loves Legos himself. Like he'll be like, "Oh, I just got this new set." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, the kids are gonna love it." He goes, "Oh, no, this is for me."
Fuck you talking about? I actually missed out. They had a Back to the Future Lego set, and it sold out in like 2 minutes. And it was like the DeLorean and both Marty and Doc, and you like build it. And it wasn't a lot of pieces. I definitely could have made that and like put it somewhere, but I was like, that's a lot, man. I don't know, but. Since we've talked for 20 minutes about nothing, this is like a Seinfeld episode.
Well, this is what's funny, and I think it's funny, kind of like coming over here. I was like, well, what am I going to talk about? And then I just realized like we've known each other for so long. I feel like we could just talk about anything, random nonsense.
I find that
hours.
too easy to talk to people like Nelly. I didn't really know her. I just met her, and I just found her so friggin' interesting. And then I learned more about her just by talking. And, you know what I mean? That was the whole point of this show. Like when, I told you earlier, like Smooth was like, you should have some like other guests on that are in the like fitness or they're smart marketing people or something. And I was like, yeah, dude, well, that's part of like in inviting DJs to talk to because like they have other stuff going on. Is the cat dander bothering you?
No, it's all good. No, and
because I noticed you're picking at your eyes. I'm getting scared. No, I don't have any Benadryl.
I think we're all good still. I think we're good. We'll see how it goes. But, no, and it's interesting too because I think, and listening to the other podcasts, like, and obviously I know Eddie, I know Kurt and company, but like. And Montone, but it's interesting because I know all of them have other stuff like that they do. You know, whether it be like just, I think you have this vision of this bubble of like this is where people live, but maybe because they do things that they don't talk about as much. Like I had no idea Kurt was like a golf all-star.
He's like Tiger Woods.
Yeah, and like I think Eddie is very focused in DJing, but I know he does the graphic design work. Montone has running. He has like real estate stuff that he's into. Yeah. I think just people don't talk about it because they don't have a place to go talk about it. You know what I mean?
So that's why I'm starting out with people I know because I'm basically building experience, right? So I need experience to grow. So if I start the whole first season, I'm talking to people that I know. I feel like it's going to be so much easier, and it's going to give me a more bigger platform to go to a bigger guest and get them in here because I'll already be used to talking to people and then like how to pull stuff out of them. You know what I mean? Like Kurt didn't want to tell any of that.
And I'm still like I listened to that whole thing and I was so shocked and I knew Kurt played golf with you guys and I had no idea like his background with golf.
I didn't know all of it like I was a little shocked by some of the stuff because I thought I knew the whole story but I didn't, right? So he was getting made fun of all weekend like, hey, heard you could have been a D1 athlete.
But it's funny though because you see people that have this like really, like innate talent, like Kurt did with golfing, but like if it's not what you want to do, it doesn't matter. Like you could be the best painter, but I feel like I hate painting. Like it doesn't matter. Like you got to go do the things that you love. And I think that's what was cool about Kurt's story is that, he had this kind of like built-in skill from when he was a kid for golf, but like he just went and said, well, I really want to DJ. Like that's what I want to go do. And like, that's what he did. Now he's crushing it, right? I mean, I texted him the other day. I was like, dude, you're killing it. I'm like super proud. Because I remember when he first started coming up, like, I'm like really proud of him.
I told him that,
he's really been consistent,
he's a grinder,
persistent.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like I think he works way more than me. You know what I mean? But he also has like a whole family to support. Like I work till I'm comfortable. I can make my bills this month. All right, I'm good.
It's a big difference when you have like a wife, when you have a kid.
I can bet. Like that's wild, man. But so let's dive into you. And the first thing I want to talk about, I know you can't talk about a lot of things, but I know I make fun and call you a rocket scientist, but how did you find that path? I don't know if you can say your job title on air.
So I do some contract work for the Navy. I do defense systems, and for lack of better terms, I'm a rocket scientist. For real, right? It's a weird path, right? So like I was always good at math, always good at physics. Did you ever take like an aptitude test in high school to say, hey, like these are the things you're good at. You should go try these things.
I think I might have skipped that day.
So part of me wishes I had because I feel like it pigeonholed me into like you got to go. This is your life now.
Yeah.
Like
sorry,
this
son.
is it.
You want to be a football player? Not today.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it was like you could go do. You could go be an engineer. You could go be this. You could go be a winemaker. I was like, oh hell yeah! Like that sounds so much cooler. Like, but so I don't know. So I went into college with the idea that I wanted to be an engineer. I actually started in mechanical, but I found that from doing my work with like the sound and lighting company, I was like, you know what? Like, I feel like with everything I love doing here, and even with DJing, I felt like I went with electrical instead. I got my degree in electrical engineering, and because I really wanted to take that, I wanted to go work for like a company like Rain and work on work on the software, like work on like Denon, work on CDJs for like work with Pioneer.
That'd be sick.
That was kind of like my thought. I was like, well, I love DJing, but like, how can I go? Grow that into like a career, like what, based on what I'm doing. I did none of that. so instead I was like, hey, like a lot of my friends are getting a job at this company. I was like, might as well just go get a job, and then, figure life out later.
Yeah.
So I applied to the same place everybody else was applying to. And then I ended up getting a couple different interviews. I ended up at, the place I'm at now. I do love what I do. It's weird. I never would have thought I would do consider a rocket scientist, which is kind of cool to say. But like everybody looks at me like, wait, don't bullshit me. Like not for real. Like,
I know that's the whole joke.
Like what I do, yeah. But it's a weird joke because everybody's like, oh, you're a rocket scientist. Oh, but like, oh, it's so easy to rocket. No, it's not rocket science, which is funny. Except I have a lot of problems doing like other simple tasks. Like, oh, it's not rocket science. I was like, I know. Why is it so fucking hard?
Because you don't have to think.
I know but yeah. So I mean, there's not really a good story there. You know, I needed a job out of college.
Yeah.
And I applied for a couple different places, and this place they hired me, and you know, I liked what they were talking about, and what was cool with them is they said, hey, you know, we do a lot of work at different, you know, military bases around the world. Would you want to go travel for a job? I said, hell yeah. Like, I would love to go.
Yeah, you've been to Hawaii like 10 times.
I know. I've been a ton of times to Hawaii. You know, I get to go to the West Coast a lot. I get to spend time out in Europe for like a month, which was awesome for like one of the bases out there. So like, I've done a lot of cool traveling like that. And it was part of like why I wanted to go do this job. Like, I wanted to go see the world.
Can you bring your family with you now that you have a kid and everything?
Yeah. So I mean, like a lot of times when I go to Hawaii, you know, I bring Nicole with me. Like, you know, I get a hotel room, and you know, I get money for my food, but like whatever, I'll buy a ticket for her, and you know, pay a little bit of money. I mean, the hotel room's like the most expensive part. So like, I started doing it because like all my coworkers, they always brought their families with them. Like, oh, that's so cool. Like, you know, I can go do work. You know, they're like paying for a hotel room, and I can bring my family and like go do stuff on my free time or weekends. Like, that's great. Yeah. So
has you been able to take your son to any of these places yet, or
no? So what sucks is like, so he was born in October of 21. Yeah, and that's like, you know, middle of COVID, right? I mean, COVID hit in March of 2020.
Yep.
And like it sucked, right? I mean,
yeah.
So like I have not really gone on travel for like years.
Oh, snap! Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, Nicole and I took a trip together like right before he was born. But I mean, I haven't really traveled for work in like a long ass time.
Yeah,
that
for
sucked.
sure.
Like that was the thing that I loved doing.
Yeah. How's dad life treating you?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. It's like, it's tough. Don't get me wrong. Like, you know, there's always ups and downs. And like hard parts, easy parts.
Yeah.
But dude, he's like, it's just, it's weird. You know, you hear parents talk, oh, I love my child so much. You know,
yeah.
Dude, Mike is the best. Like,
I think I remember you saying like, I enjoy like going and get his haircut. Like,
dude, it's fun. It's just like you see this little kid, like, right. You get to watch like all these experiences. And I think one of the cool things about kids that like we lose as we get older is this just like everything's amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, cool. Like shelves with shoes on them. That's so fucking cool. Like,
yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
Sounds like something out of Toy Story.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's like everything is just so new and cool to them.
Yeah, for sure.
But you just see this kind of like of amazement, and it's really cool because like it reminds you of what it was like to be a kid, and it kind of opens your eyes up to like what, you know, you get kind of beat down as you get older as an adult, and it's so cool to see this like view from their eyes, and like just every little thing is just fun to them. Like, this is great. Like,
have you taken him? I guess you haven't taken him to Disney yet. Is he old enough?
This is a big argument in the household because you know me, I'm a big Disney guy.
Yeah.
I would take him, you know, tomorrow if I could, but I think we want to wait until he's a little bit older so he could like really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I thought he would have been there like right out of the womb.
We're trying to find a good balance of like. Because, like, if we take him now, it's more for, like, me. You know?
Yeah. So you want to be able to go on the rides with him and all those kind of things, right?
Fun fact, I'm actually not a ride guy. The number of times, as much as I love Disney, I don't like rides. I don't like flying. You would think with all the traveling I do, huge fear. What? Huge fear of flying. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
fun
amazing.
Fact.
Like, it's funny. Me and Nine, we lived near each other growing up. Like, not growing up, but in our our early adulthood, and we used to get the season pass to Six Flags.
Oh yeah, dude! I remember you guys were always there.
Yeah,
right?
like once a week we were there. Yeah. Right. So I don't know what happened when I was like, my sister took us when I was like 15 or 16. I went on the stupidest ride. It literally spun like this, and then it went up, spun like this, came down, stopped. But you were like spinning like upside, like sideways, but upside down, right? Immediately. Got like I was nauseous from the time we left until we got home. I made it all the way home, and then I puked.
Really?
Right. So I'm like, ever since then, I get motion sickness now. Like,
really?
I need to take Dramamine to go on an airplane.
That's me.
To go on the boat. No, actually, not like a regular boat. I haven't been on a. Have I been on a? Yeah, I've been on a cruise. The first day, I have to take Dramamine or I get sick. Right. Now, if I drive in a car too long, motion sickness.
Really?
Yeah. I go to Six Flags. I need to double up. I need to take one on the way there, and then one a couple hours in.
Do you like fall asleep? This is like a serious question because like I usually do that before I get on the flight, and it just knocks me out.
Oh no, I'm good. Like I it's supposed to be non-drowsy.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think I've ever been sick, but or fallen asleep because like it's so weird, man. Like ever since that day, I get motion sickness now. I can't.
But you still go. See, like this is my thing. Like
I still go. Yeah, 1,000%.
I just
like.
I'm like I'm like 37. I'm like I'm good. Like I don't need to go.
You know what's funny? Me and him would go on the same ride and still have the same reaction when we're done. Like that was so fucking cool.
You're like the little kid experience.
Yeah. So like Batman went reverse one year. And it was the coolest fucking thing, man. Like, because like you're not expecting it to go fucking backwards. It was.
Wait, did you know that before you got on it? Like, was it?
Yeah, we knew it. We knew it was going to go backwards, but we didn't know what to expect. You know what I mean? We're used to the ride going straight. So like,
I feel like I remember when this first happened because it was like
it was a big thing. Yeah. Like everyone wanted to ride because Batman's already like 20 years old at this point. So it's like, oh, this is dumb. Like, why are we going on this ride again? It's stupid. It's the worst right here. And then it goes backwards. It's like a whole new ride.
Yeah.
I was like, this is great. This is awesome. Like, I wish they would have redid like some of like the ambiance around it, but it's not. Like, you see someone's shoe from like 1996 still on the ground. You know what I mean?
Still lighting up because it's an LA light shoe.
Yeah, I'm like, remember those?
I remember that.
I'm gonna get a pair of LA lights.
I'm surprised you don't have like
LA lights up there.
Any light up shoe.
Yeah,
well, I guess it's not really.
I have glow in the dark shoes.
Do you really?
I don't know if any pairs. Nah, none of these bottoms light up. No, these ones. I think these ones glow in the dark.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so the soles, if you charge them, right, you have to charge them. You have to hold them up to a light.
Oh, okay.
And eventually they gain enough luminescence.
Like glow in the dark, yeah.
Yeah, so they glow. So, yeah, that's whatever. So I'm kind of interested, but when this Disney trip is, because I really want to go now.
Dude, believe me, I would still like. I love going to Disney because it's fun, man. Like, and it's I don't know if they're like the nerdy engineer in me, but I love it because there's like everything has like this crazy level of detail.
Yeah,
that you could just stand and like look up at a building for like an hour and be like and just see something new every minute.
Oh yeah, and it doesn't change that often, right?
No, it does. Like they I mean, they're I feel like they're always fixing things or rebuilding stuff or adding new lands. But I mean, like a lot of the key things have been the same for years. But
what you think is weird, right? Because I see people that go once a year, twice a year, and I'm like, for what? Like for what?
I mean,
I haven't been there. I haven't probably been there 20 years, and I bet you I go back, some of this shit's still the same.
Oh yeah, probably.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, because I went to, I want to say the one in California, Disneyland, right? Disney California.
Yep.
They had a Back to the Future thing, right? Which was eventually moved to Florida, and they had
not Disneyland. That would have been Universal. Not to
you're
poo-poo
right.
on your Disney.
Oh, you're right. It was the so I guess this wouldn't apply to you.
I go to Universal too. I like both of them. I think they're both really cool.
I'm obviously Back to the Future nerd.
I never
seeing the ride there. I was like, this is fucking sick. And then they changed it into a Simpsons ride.
That's right. It's a huge Simpsons land down in Florida now.
Yeah, which is so cool, man. Like,
it is really cool, actually.
And that's not Disney. I thought they were on Disney Plus now. Is that not Disney?
That's a good point. Yeah, the Simpsons are on Disney Plus, but like the Simpsons land is in Universal. I never actually thought about that.
I'm sorry to offend you.
I don't care. You know, it's funny, as I got older, and like I actually really enjoy Universal because it's more like the movies that
Marvel
like, and Marvel like the things that I like now. So it's like in Simpsons and stuff like that.
It's like the grown-up Disney.
I know, it's awesome.
So wait, Indiana Jones, is that right?
That's Disney.
Okay, because I remember I went on that ride in California, and it's sick. Like, and we went on it 5 different times because there was 3 different like entrances, and we went into like 1 and 3, and then I was like, oh, we got to get 2 now, right?
You got to do it, right?
We got to do it. The 5th time we have to get 2, right? There's no way we're doing 1 and 3 again. We got fucking 3 again. I was like, I even told the guy, we haven't been down 2 yet, and he sends another car down 2. I was like, is it broke?
Like, I'm getting off. Let me
let me out here.
Let me get on the next one.
Let me get out. I'm trying to think. Oh man, so Florida. I remember me and the ex that came to New York with us. I drove with her family to Orlando. I'll never do that again. No,
you know it's funny. I love driving.
Oh God,
I like that.
Bro, I got so sick.
Oh, you get car sick. So that's a big difference, though.
18 hours in a car in the back seat. If I'm driving, I'm Gucci. My limit driving is 6 hours because I've done it, and then after that I start getting sick. I'm like, all right, I gotta get out of this fucking car, you know, and. I did that 18 hours. I flew back.
One day?
Yeah, I flew back.
Straight's tough. Like you
I bought a
do it in
flight
like 2 days.
in the hotel room. I was like, I'll see you guys when you get home. I'm out of here. I have my own job. And I was like, I'm flying home. Just drop me off the airport because they didn't have Ubers then. So I was like, can you drop me off the airport on your way out? I was a dick. I was like, I'm flying back. I can't do that. I literally bought it when I landed. I got on the internet and boop, 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 bought a ticket. It was thinking back. It was like $90.
Oh, that's not bad.
I'm headed home. I'll see you later. See you later.
Take my money. Right?
Yeah, I think I put it on my Discover card that I still have. I'm probably still paying it off. Have you noticed anything like that with a kid now? Like you put kind of like you get like maybe like a credit card reward for Disney. You're like, oh, this is it. This is the time I can take them.
No,
because now they give out like
I mean, like you can get like different credit cards and rewards and stuff like that.
Yeah. So maybe that's what you should do, right? You get a Disney Rewards credit card, right? And then you'd be like, hon, guess what? We can go for free.
It's so weird. Like I don't know. I'm so weird with money because like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but like I have like 2 credit cards and I hate them. Like I would like one credit card and I never want to put like more than like $300 on it. Like I have this like really weird, I don't know, like relationship with money just because I don't like spending money.
Wow. How much money is in your bank? No, I'm just kidding.
But it would not as much as you would think. Right. So like, I don't know. So like, but I mean, I have like I get like 1% cash back type stuff.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. I never actually thought about looking into like another credit card. I don't know. It just feels like
it could be a way to get your son there faster.
It's like another black hole of money that I try to avoid.
So I'm really bad at tracking my receipts, right? So I got an Apple Card recently, I want to say like 2 years ago. And each month there's like an analyzer on there, right? So it tells you how much you spent on transportation, how much you spent on food, groceries, and all these things. So now when I do my taxes, I just pull up my Apple Card because I just pay it off at the end of the month.
And do you use that one card for everything?
Yeah. I have like 3 cards in general. And then one is for my subscriptions like Netflix and whatever. One is tied into all my household bills, right? So I'm never late on anything.
Cool.
And then I just look up the AR at the end of the month and pay them off.
There's another. So I use another app called, I forget, it's Mint or Minute or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's essentially you can link all your accounts together and track like all your finances. You can set budgets. Like you can really go through every single expense and say like, all right, well now I know how much I spent on Grubhub across all your credit cards, across your debit card.
No shit.
Yeah, I'll
send me that, John.
Remind me when we're done here. I'll show you. So like, I went down this like black hole of things. Like when I found out I was gonna be a dad, like I went down this kind of black hole of like I need to get better at just everything, right? Just life, like. And this was a big area for me, is like finance. Like, how can I get better with money? And then, it's like, how you got to track it, right? You got to know your cash flow. Like, if you don't know what's going in and what's coming out, like, that's your cash flow, right? It's like the difference between what's coming in and what's coming out. Like, if you can't see what you're spending money on.
My debit card does that now. It's kind of scary.
But it's good, though.
I'm always in the red.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so that's good because, I mean, that's not good.
Well, I don't like Uncle Sam to know all my business, so I don't put everything in there.
He knows everything.
I know. You would know that answer.
I mean, it's just like everything's online, right? I mean, like,
yeah. So I don't know.
Card.
I spread my money out, kind of. So like, I have a credit union account. I have a Citizens account, and now I'm in the process of LLCing my wedding business as well, which is now I just landed that booking account that I was telling you about. I just landed it last Saturday, this past Saturday.
The one,
yeah. I don't want to talk about it yet, just because it's not. We didn't sign the contract yet, but
we should talk after this. I want to talk to you about that some more. I have some ideas for you.
Yeah, I landed it, so I was like,
oh, nice, dude.
It's only Friday and Saturday night bookings right now, and I got them.
I think that's it though. I don't think minus like. Big weekends. I thought that's all they had.
No, they have Thursdays too. So I'll be taking that over in May.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'll be doing 3 nights a week there. And they basically, we talked it out and they want whatever. So now I'm going to have a business account with someone. So I'm like, I'm probably going to hit up 2 Cool C or something and get one with PNC because he said he wants to he wants me to put my car eventually in my LLC. So like Eric Vanderslice doesn't own anything. The LLC owns everything.
Yes. This is like, if you ever, so again, it's my black hole of like trying to learn stuff.
Yeah.
So if you ever listen to like the big, most, predominant, entrepreneurs in the world, they'll tell you should never own anything. Your business should own everything. Because there's tax benefits there, right? Like there's a lot of things that you can take advantage of as being a business owner that like I can't take advantage of as an employee, which is crazy, but like do it. Like,
oh yeah,
everything.
I would
right?
eventually put my car 100% write off. Sign me up.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, if everything you're doing with your car is to like support your business, go get new business, go to do events. I mean, it's a business car. Like everything signed off.
Amazing.
It is amazing, right? And like, I think this is a thing that a lot of people don't realize when it comes to like how you can run a business versus like what a standard employee can do. Like as standard employees, we don't get a lot. Like there's not much we can do, but like a business owner, you have a lot more flexibility and ability to take advantage of that.
Yeah,
kind of
he
stuff.
said it would probably take like a year for me to put the car in my name, in the business's name, because the business has to accrue credit and do all these things. So he's like, the first thing I want you to do, open the account, and I'll get you a business credit card. First thing you do with that business credit card, go buy like a new controller with it and pay it off, and 12 months, pay it off, get that credit up, whatever, and then that's when we can say Slice of Entertainment has a credit line history, and I'll try to get you to the lowest loan possible, which that's gonna be tough because I have a pretty low interest rate right now on my car, which is amazing because my first car was my Scion was 11% interest.
Oh God, that's awful.
It was painful. Thankfully, when I sold it to Volkswagen, the little bit I had left was like the rest of the interest, so I would have been overpaying for the car for another, like I want to say like $4,500 more than I should have been paying. And then I was like, I probably paid a little bit more than that, but I'm saying $4,500 more, but it's been more over what the car was worth. So they gave me that, paid off my loan, and then another $1,500 to go towards this car. So I threw up another $1,500 to cover tax and tags. I came out just spending $1,500.
You got to look at it though, because like one of the cool things about having it tied to your business is, even if you're spending a little bit more, it's actually lowering your taxable income as an entrepreneur. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like it might seem like you're paying more, but you end up paying less in taxes than from a business standpoint.
I definitely should talk into an accountant, I think.
Oh yeah.
I just don't want to pay someone to do that. I do my own taxes.
Dude, I'm telling you, like there's a few things in life that you can invest in. I think that probably the top 2 or 3 things you can invest in as a person is, your self-development, like learning new things and, taking courses, getting mentors is the second one. The third one is like getting somebody to do your taxes, man. Cause like as good as you think you are, especially when it comes to business,
well, that's a whole promise new realm.
Yeah. And you are paying somebody else, and that, whatever you pay them is also a tax write-off, right? I mean, like there's just, you take advantage on both ends. You get somebody to help you to find more tax write-offs, and then you have an expense, which is a tax write-off. It works in your favor.
I'm making enough money for that, where I feel like that's, because I learned actually, before they probably stopped teaching it, I learned how to do my taxes in school, and then my sister is a payroll like administrator for some big wig place, so she taught me how to like cut corners and what you can write off, what you can't. And then I do taxes for me and then for the DJ as well. So like my taxable income and my untaxable income.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think about it though, is I think a couple of things. One is there's a little bit of backing there when you have somebody else do it. So like, I always worry about this, especially as I started to like, have a family and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want somebody else to do my taxes because if anything's wrong, I want to go to them and say, please help me fix this.
Right.
Like, number one. And then the second thing is, how much time do you spend doing your taxes? Like a couple hours?
Yeah.
I mean, the other way to go look at it is...
I do it the day before it's due.
Well, also not the best time to go do it, right? But like, I just finished reading this book. It's called Who Not How. And like, consider like the time that you spend doing your taxes. Let's say it's like, 4 or 5 hours, just ballpark. That's like a DJ gig. So like, if you could spend 4 hours DJing, would you make more money than it would cost you to have somebody else do your taxes?
I guess I'll look into it. Like how much could it cost to hire an accountant? You probably pay monthly or a retainer.
No, it's one time. Like you go. So it depends on what you want, right? If you want to just pay somebody to do your taxes, like a one-time thing. If you want a consultant, I know that's a different deal, right? But like I've been going to the same guy since I was a little kid. It's the guy that my parents go to, and it's like a couple $100 worth every penny. Like really think about it. Like it's because they're just going to help you and they'll keep an eye on what you're doing over the years to say, hey, I see that you are trending with this. Do you ever think about changing, the way you structure this because it'll help you out? Like things because you don't want to stay up on tax code. Like you might spend 4 to 5 hours doing your taxes.
Oh, but then I get so many errors sometimes. Yeah, but like I'm working on it forever.
And that shit changes like every 6 months, right? Because they're finding new ways to screw you, right?
It's terrible.
But like
terrible.
It's terrible. But like I mean, like
remember that time we met Barkley?
Dude, he used to always come to Syndustry Sundays. That was awesome.
How you guys doing? You want to try Cafe Patrol? How you doing? That's terrible.
And he used to always come in like not sober, right?
Yeah. He probably just got done leaving the casino, losing his whole paycheck.
Yeah, oh man, my gambling is terrible.
It's terrible. You guys got any winners? So let's dive into your DJ career, because I didn't know you started with a sound and lighting company.
So I even started before that. So like I've been DJing for I probably started 20 years ago.
Oh snap, longer than me.
So I started when I was in high school. Do you want the whole backstory? How deep do you want me to go into this?
That's up to you. How'd you get into it? So we'll start there. How'd you get into it? And then I'll see if I can pull anything from that.
I'll give you a little bit of background. So I first became interested in DJing as a little kid. So seriously, little kid. You're talking about 12 years old. Mm-hmm. Because I grew up closer to New York, so we had all the the New York radio stations, Hot 97, Power 105. So I used to stay up really late listening to all the live mix DJs who not only would mix live, so they're cutting scratch and they're mixing records, but also on the weekends they would broadcast live from a lot of nightclubs.
I remember that. That
dude,
was so cool.
I'm this is the cool, and I would stay up late. My parents were you got to go to bed. I'm 3 in the morning. No, this is so cool. I used to listen to these guys all the time. I'm this is it. This is so cool. This is what these guys do. It's it's awesome. I was I got to start doing this. So I always had in the back of my mind that I wanted to start DJing. I linked up with a couple of buddies in high school who, were DJing, had a DJing business. I did a couple gigs with them, but I really got into it in college. I worked at the sound and lighting company on campus, and we did all the events at Villanova. So I was DJing. I don't know. I was DJing, events 3 nights a week.
Wow.
Just on campus, not big things. But then as I got older, I started working in the bars, 3 or 4 in the area. So I was working every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
They were the days, man.
Dude, I miss it, man. It was awesome. You're not making a lot of money, but it was fun because it was, you're learning how to DJ and do it the right way. And you're playing for all your friends, dude. It's awesome. So that's kind of how I started, the brief story of how I started. And when I when I graduated, I kept DJing. And then I, kind of fell into the Manio crew and got to know people, got, more involved in stuff, and just kind of went from there. Yeah,
because you used to play a lot of cool places too. So it's funny to see, when I first moved here, I obviously didn't move here, but I started coming in more, and I see where you guys are playing. I'm like, oh, how'd you get in there? How'd you get in there? How'd you get in there? And now it's you used to play U-Bahn. I play U-Bahn now. You know what I mean? All these places that you used to play.
Oh, do you know the story? Do you know the story of U-Bahn?
No.
So this is a fun story too. So I got to thank Nicole for this. So years ago, Nicole was a liquor sales rep, right? She used to work for Southern Wine and Spirits, and U-Bahn was one of her accounts. And the owner, Teddy, was like, "Hey, I'm trying to throw an opening party. I'm really thinking I want to have a drummer DJ. I know that's a big thing right now." And she goes, "Oh, I know a guy. I should introduce you." Of course, we're engaged at the time. She didn't say that, but she's like, you should meet this guy AJ. He does a DJ drummer thing. You should hire them.
Yeah.
So that's how I got in there, thanks to Nicole. And
oh snap!
I was actually there. I played opening night of U-Bahn.
Oh wow!
I was their Friday night resident for a while.
Probably looks exactly the same.
It does. Well, no, it doesn't. It
doesn't.
They redid a lot. So they have the tables and all the way in the back.
Yeah. They have lights now. Yeah. They have moving heads and stuff.
Dude, they have a lot of cool stuff now.
It's definitely different. I don't play there as much as I used to. And I don't really have the availability that they're looking for, but that's the problem I'm having now is my April, I have 1 date left, and it's only, I have a Phillies game in the morning until 7. Mm-hmm. So people are kind of sketchy about taking that date because it's if I have a 9 o'clock start, I'm probably gonna be late. Yeah, 1,000% gonna be late, right? So that's in the back of my mind as well. Is when people hear that I can't get there till 9, 10 o'clock, they're like, oh no, I'm okay, because I've had to send openers recently.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but that was for a wedding.
Yeah,
but that's the problem I'm having now with scheduling. Now that the Phillies are starting in April, I'm uh-oh. I had to find an opener at all my gigs now, just in case.
Yeah.
So he's probably he'll be hearing this after I meet with him. But I played. I had a kid, Kev Nichols, on not too long ago. He's an upcoming DJ. I'm gonna take him under my wing. I did a gig with him, and Kev, you're listening. We already had this conversation, so it's okay. Actually, no, he's shit. Yeah, we already had the conversation.
So are you airing out his dirty laundry?
No. Basically, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell him. I think I can help him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I can help him be a cleaner mixer, program properly, and I'm basically going to take him under my wing and literally give him the busiest summer of his life.
Nice.
Yeah.
Programming is huge, right? I think a lot of DJs discount how important it is to like.
Dude, you can't teach it, but I'm going to try.
It's tough, man. Like, and like building up, like everybody thinks like, oh, I'm just going to come in hot.
Yep.
128 BPM all night.
We played together at Pace, and he did that. He played I Just Want to Rock at 11:15.
Oof.
Sorry, bud. Can't do that. We already had this conversation, so you already know.
But it comes with time, right? And I think like it comes with time, and either you have to experience it from like suffering through the downside of it, or have somebody tell you like that's not like you got to do it differently.
And that it's not just him. I think it's a generational thing, right? My camera just went off like completely. Is yours on?
Still on.
All right. We're going to still talk, but I'm going to ask you a question while I'm fixing that.
All right.
So with all the DJs coming up, I know you've been out of the scene just for a little bit. Have you experienced that at all while you were in the scene?
As far as like just seeing other DJs play and seeing like them. So I will say I have found that, starting to go out again, I noticed that, how can I put it? Nights seem to end a little bit earlier.
Well, that's COVID, man. COVID ruined that.
You think so? So, like, I wasn't
1,000%.
sure. I wasn't sure if I was COVID because I feel like everybody goes really hard early, and like, I've gone to Wicked Wolf a couple times, and I would like seeing people getting like super drunk by like 12:30.
Well, that's because they're going out earlier now.
All right.
Because bars were closing at like 10, 11 o'clock. Because everybody had to be in by 12. You know what I mean? So people are going out mad early now. So gigs are starting at 9.
I know. I did notice that.
I want to vomit. Like a 5-hour set. I can't do 5-hour sets anymore. I can't. I'm like struggle busting it, man. Like my brain hurts.
And it's weird too. So like, it's one thing if you're playing a 5-hour set and you have time to like warm up the night and warm up the room.
Yeah.
But like when you're coming on hot, like you were talking about the other night, like when they used to do, a DJ in the afternoon and at night at Shenanigans, and you had the Disney happy hour in the middle. Like everybody is so amped up. It's like you come in hot and you have to kind of wind the room down a little bit.
Yeah.
Let the people, like the day people transition out.
Yep.
The night people. But like at some of these places, if you're trying to go, balls to the wall for 5 hours, it's not just tiring for you. It's tiring for everybody.
It's exhausting, man. And I think that's the problem now is, whether they're opening or anything, these younger guys, they haven't experienced it enough, and they're getting put on too early. And I truly believe that, and I'm kind of glad that I got put in this situation because this kid has potential. Like he knows the records, obviously he knows the records. So I want to get a little bit of his background and kind of like see what he wants to do. Right. So I'm starting a wedding business. I work with Smooth's wedding business as well. We're looking for these kids that we can kind of groom.
That's
right.
Cool.
And to be not just a wedding DJ, not just a private party DJ, but teach them how to read a room, how to program a room. And then you can play these nightclubs, man. And
I think what's cool is like, the wedding industry. So like I started doing, a lot of private events on campus. I started doing a lot of formals and, weddings and sweet 16s before.
I just got asked to do a formal for, I think it was for a sorority at Villanova. I said $2K just so I didn't have to do it. If they paid me $2K, I'll do it.
Dude, you know what though? It's funny because like that's where I learned how to play, right? Because the formals, back in 10 years ago, 15 years ago, God, like
it's disgusting to say.
But I mean, like they were like the epitome of open format.
Oh yeah.
I'm going from playing EDM to Don't Stop Believing, not.
Yeah.
Right next to each other, but like that kind of trend. Well, sometimes
like if BPM that's right there.
It's not far out, right? Like 118, 128, you can make it work. But like, but like it, I learned rock music from doing formals. When I first started DJing, it was nothing but hip hop.
Right.
Nothing.
Well, that's what you grew up listening to.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you go what you know, and that's where people make fun of me all the time. Till this day, I'm still playing Michael Jackson in nightclubs. Sorry, but booked the wrong guy. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna play MJ everywhere I go.
I know. Whenever I see you somewhere, I'm like, there's at least 13 Michael Jacksons.
No, I've narrowed it down. I'm probably playing 2, maybe maximum like 2 a night now.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's just because like these younger places like Barstool and all, I really can't get away with it. But like my gig Friday at Barstool starts at 8:30, so like 8:30 to 9:30, I'm playing bullshit like 80s records, 90s records, just because it's a long ass shift, man.
It's a long
8:30 to 1:30. I wish like sometimes there was no one there when I got there, but like a place like Barstool, it's pretty significant when you get there at 8:30, especially Wicked Wolf now. It's like you walk in at 8:30, it's packed when you're ready to go at 9. So you're coming out of the gate.
See, so that's interesting. So that kind of changes my view on like what I saw. So like I went out later and this is probably like even after
when you opened for me at Stratus.
Yeah, so like even after that I went, I'm like, man, everybody gets drunk like so early now. But I didn't really think about that from COVID. People go just like literally just going out earlier.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's weird too because and maybe it's weird for us because we saw how it was years ago, but like
I'm not walking in the club till 9:45.
Yeah. But like and you're already like, kind of trying to squeeze your way through the club to get to the booth. Like that's no fun.
No, it's like the Saturday shifts at Shenanigans, man. It's like you walk in after Disney happy hour, it's mobbed. You're like, oh shit.
Dude, I used to trying to load in equipment during that time.
Oh God, it's gross. It's so gross.
I sometimes would think about like, all right, where am I DJing the night before?
Well, thankfully, I'm living down there this summer, so I'll be loading my equipment in Friday night.
Yeah, but it's worth it though, right? I mean, just having your stuff on the stage.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to try to bring
I'll bring
my turntables, my mixer, and like I bring a big monitor with me. Thank God there's a monitor there now. Yeah. But like, dude, I used to bring all that stuff in, like fighting through crowds of people, and like walking in with like a big cup of coffee. And I just, it was always a mess, right? It's just, it's tough. But like, so to go back to your question though, so what do I think about, the people that I see, like the DJs I'm hearing? It's different, right? I mean, like, I don't know if I have an opinion one way or the other. I think I'm still trying to, it's like I've been out of the game for like, 2 years now, it feels like.
Yeah.
It's weird coming back to it. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of people to thank for helping, to put me on. Like
you
and Smooth. And
I'm definitely going to have some work for you.
I appreciate that, man. But it's weird, right? Because with COVID, I took time off to be with my son because I didn't want to get him sick. Of course, you know what happened. Did I ever tell you what happened?
No.
Oh man, so I still catch shit for this, but like, I took all this time off. The only place I DJ'd during COVID was down in Dewey because it's all open air. I said, look, there's very low chance of me getting COVID.
Beach, right?
Yeah. So I'd fill in a couple of nights here and there. Oh, and then actually at the time I did their day party, so I'm like there from like noon to 5.
Yeah, you asked me to cover once, I think, and I couldn't do it.
Probably, yeah. So, like, I love it down there. It's so much fun. It's nice. It's open air.
My first date's there May 13th.
Dude, it's a fun spot. We should talk later because, like, I mean, you got to know, like, don't play the graveyard songs and stuff like that. But it's I
might
fun.
do it so I'm a one and done. That track sucks.
It does. You get used to it though. It's not too bad. I actually think it's not as bad as driving back from Sea Isle.
Well, my ex is from there, so like we used to do that drive during COVID all the time to go hang out with their parents because like down there in Ocean City, Maryland, like you can go out all the time. Like,
and everything was open.
Everything was open. Yeah. So like we would go take weekend trips, and we'd be out there Friday, Saturday, come back Sunday. Just like going to the shore because I wasn't DJing, so like I was down there all the time.
See, that's cool. So like that was like the only place that I was.
But
really
she grew
DJing.
Up in Dewey.
Oh, so then you you're familiar with it.
Yeah,
so
you're
used to going
she lived
down
in
there.
Dewey. Her mom and stepdad lived in Ocean City, Maryland.
Okay.
Which is like is only during this peak season it's an hour away, and then not peak it's like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's crazy the difference.
It's weird like. Especially like those main roads, there's just no way around the traffic.
Yeah, but. I'm playing at Fagers Island too this year.
Oh, nice, dude.
August, I'm playing. Denial booked that like way in advance. He booked me for that in December, I think.
Oh, that's right. I forget that he like works down there.
Yeah. He's been wanting to get me in there for a minute, and last summer I don't know. I think the owner was like kind of weird. Same kind of thing. I had a day gig till like 5, and I started at 9. He's like, "Oh, it's cutting it close." I'm like, "Bro, I'll make it."
Yeah.
I'm going to leave right from 5. It'll take me 3.5 hours. I'll have a half hour. I guarantee I get there a half hour before. He's like, nah, he doesn't want to chance it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I literally just said I'd make it. Like, from Philly, it shouldn't take you, with traffic, it'll take you about 3 hours.
Yeah, I think that's about how long it took me, like 2.5, 3 hours to get back. And that's going to like, up and then back down to Jersey, right?
Yeah.
But from here, you're like,
it's like a straight shot.
Yeah, straight
Literally
shot.
A straight shot.
Yeah.
Like, I did it so many times, bro. Because when she moved out of here, before she even moved in here, I was driving down there for a weekend. She would drive up here. And then she moved in for a little while, and then we broke up, then got back together, and I was driving back and forth.
Yeah.
And like I could do that driving my sleep now. It's so quick. Like I think it's so quick now.
And it's not that bad. It's not that bad of a drive. But like, yeah, so like that was the only place I was working for a while because Nicole got pregnant, and I was like, well, I cannot get COVID. Like I can't. I don't want her to get sick. I don't want a chance like anything happening with the baby. Even after my son was born, I didn't DJ for like the longest time. I think it was until like last summer or the summer before I started DJing again. I was like, all right, this is it. I'm going to get back into it. First weekend, I think it was Friday night, I was at the Princeton down in Avalon. Saturday night, I'm at Shenanigans. Wednesday, tested positive for COVID. like that. Like literally my first weekend back DJing. Like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
Oh my God. Did you get sick?
I got sick. So then like once I started feeling sick, I like quarantined. I stayed away from everybody. I had like masks on. I had a face shield. The baby got sick. Then Nicole got sick. And like when babies get COVID, they get like really violently sick for like a day, but then they're good. But like it's scary, right? Because you know this is like nobody knows what COVID is, right? Like it was just it just happened. So like, but it sucked. It was like the worst possible thing. Like, hey, I'm gonna get back into DJing. It's gonna be fine. Legit, the first weekend back. Freaking COVID.
I didn't even get it from DJing. I got it from a family member during Christmas, both years.
Did you really?
Yeah, 20 was I guess the end of 2020, and then 2021 I got it again for Christmas twice.
Sucks, dude.
Yeah, it's awful. And I was supposed to go to St. Thomas in 21 with my ex, and then I tested negative, thankfully, like the week we were supposed to leave, and you needed a test like 2 or 3 days before you landed to get off the plane or the boat or whatever the fuck. And thankfully, I got in because that would have been a weird journey.
Like, all right, well, you have fun on the trip there.
Yeah, I'll just stay here at port, I guess. So I just had Kurt on, and he was talking about like naming his kid. Did you guys like go through like a
big argument?
Yeah.
Well, because so fun. I don't know if you know this, but I'm the third.
Oh, okay.
So I know Kurt's son is now the third. So I'm actually already the third. And I was like, it'd be kind of cool for my son to be the fourth. And Nicole's like, absolutely not.
Oh, snap.
But we came up with a really cool name. So our son's name is Skylar Rain.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it's a cool name.
It's like, a very Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like like a movie, or I feel like it already sounds like
this kid's gonna be a movie star,
like an artist.
Yeah,
like
he's gonna be something,
like a DJ name. It's already like
he's
a
cool
cool
name.
Famous. Yeah, absolutely. He's an awesome kid. But like,
yeah.
So we just kind of landed on it. We actually toyed around with a couple different names. We were like really liked one name. I won't say what it is, but it ended up being a like a wrestler's name. Or like we can't.
Oh, snap. Was it Roman Reigns?
It was actually.
Yeah, I figured.
But it was Roman Reigns. I was like, that sounds like a cool name. So, and we were talking to Chelsea Frost, DJ Freeze.
She's going to be on a couple weeks.
Nice. Yeah, so she's awesome, right? And I think it was her that said, "Oh, I love him as a wrestler." I'm like, oh, balls.
Damn it.
That's definitely not it.
Got to change it now. All right, so I asked you to bring 2 questions for me. What do you got? Number 1, shoot.
So first one is,
oh boy. And you listen every week, so
I do.
You're definitely gonna.
So I think my questions tie into. So I'll give you a little background, right? So like I was saying before, when I found out I was gonna be a dad, I like went head first into this whole like self development of like how can I get better? Like how can I teach myself things or learn more stuff? Or like I really got into marketing, sales, and a lot of like how the internet is just like so powerful.
Right.
And like a lot. So my question to you is, and I have a few things I was going to share with you is, I know you want to turn your podcast into something more, like radio based.
Right.
And I know you're talking to a few people. I know you have some things in the works, but like what, so
it's happening way too fast.
But I think you want, but so, and this is, I kind of came up with a question before I knew you were going to like Wicked Wolf, but like, my question to you is going to be like, what is your plan for the podcast? Like, how do you plan on growing? Like, do you have a thought of like in the next 6 months, year, 5 years, what you want to do to grow your podcast and like,
in the next year, I want, to me personally, you hear my voice on the radio, right? Okay. And I think that will help spawn the podcast to eventually be on a network radio.
So I guess in
the next 5 years, I want this podcast to be on the radio.
So I guess in my mind, that was kind of I was thinking you were going to go the opposite way. It was like you want to use the podcast to get on the radio, but I think you already have some stuff that you're looking at of like getting on the radio and using that attention to filter back into the podcast.
And then eventually, the more listeners I get, the more, analytics I can show people. And you amazing if I had sponsors and do all these things. And like, I'm working on sponsorships now, which is cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Because I want to pay some of this stuff back. And like,
you're like 8 episodes in, right? So like,
yeah,
you'd be surprised like how many podcasts that you hear out there. Like I'm 50 episodes in and I have 3 watchers, like 3.
Oh no, it's so my biggest one. I haven't looked in a while. Eddie's episode was up to 800 plays. That's just awesome. On Apple Podcasts. Apple Podcasts, I think I do the most listens.
That was gonna be another question, kind of a sub question. Like, do you know? So you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.
Right. YouTube is doing terrible because I'm terrible at editing my video. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I film this on Tuesdays sometimes. Yeah. Like I have Lowry coming next 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now, he's coming, but he has to come on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I have a day to dump the footage, do the audio, and put it up. Right. There's not 2 days is not enough time to do the video at all. Like, because it's a pain. But now, since I dumbed the footage down to 1080, it's a little bit more easy to manipulate. So like in 4K, it was so tough. My computer was like dying. It was like, hey, I need a break. It would like freeze.
Yeah. So I it's interesting that you get a lot of your plays on Apple Podcasts because I think YouTube is probably.
I know that will be my lifting point.
That's got to be like everything that I've learned over the past.
If it could be audio only, I would love it. But people want to see people.
Yeah, so we should talk. Like, and I'm definitely willing to help. Right, so like, yeah. I think what I want to start doing here is like I've learned so much over the past couple of years from like reading and absorbing all this shit.
Yeah,
I want to start helping people and like sharing what I've learned. So I would love to like talk with you some more because I think there's I heard a statistic the other day of like 80% of content consumed over the past year was like short form. So if you think about like if you have a YouTube video, I think you could boil that down into like what, probably like 10 clips, and now you have reels.
Yeah, they're hour and 20-minute. This is my podcast. My longest one was Kurt, I think, so far. It's a little over an hour.
But I mean, like I think you could grab.
And I don't time limit, so I feel when the conversation dies, that's when it's over. And I feel like that's where my podcast is kind of set apart from other people's. Other people put time limits on it. Yeah,
because I think like the average podcast, I was actually looking it up before I came on here, is like probably like 40, 45 minutes.
Yeah. Mine's my longest one so far is an hour and 27 minutes.
Do you ever think about, so this is another thing I was thinking about for you. Do you ever think about, so along with, when you have video, I think you have a big leverage point there because YouTube gets indexed incredibly when you talk about like Google search and SEO, right? So you have the ability for people to find you just by searching podcasts or searching, DJ podcasts or, Tonka podcasts. Like, Like I think you're much more searchable when you have YouTube, but also you have the ability to like take those clips and chop it down into like reels and shorts. Shorts on YouTube are like a huge thing right now. I know reels are kind of like dying out, but shorts are huge. And like just YouTube over indexes. But have you ever thought about instead of having like one long podcast, like chopping it up into 2?
On YouTube or in general?
I don't know. I guess it's more of a thought.
I'm gonna be honest, man. It's doing well the way it is.
Okay,
like audio wise, it's doing great. Like I'm averaging 100 plays on an episode.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Which I'm so thankful for the people in my life. Some people really want it. Some people say it's really easy to listen to me talk, which is great. I don't think I have a great voice, but obviously it's working. But I think I want to say my lowest plays on Apple Podcasts is like 67, but they're all so close. That's awesome, they're all so close to 100. It's crazy. And then the engagement is really what grows it, right?
Right.
Everyone is tuned in over 51%.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that means they're in it for at least 45 minutes. Yeah. That's what that means basically. Whoever is over 30 minutes. And that each episode's average never goes below 50%.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. I'm keeping I'm actually interested to see how this one goes because we went off on like a very relatable tangent.
We did. I was thinking back about all the things we talked about. I don't know if we ever actually went back to the original questions.
Probably not.
We just went off on crazy tangents
which
the whole time.
And that's what's great about this, man. And I just love talking, obviously. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I hear what you're saying, and a lot of people have been saying that. Like, why don't you put out like reels and like all these things? I'm like, man, I just don't have the fucking time.
Dude, let's talk. I'd be happy to help, man.
Yeah, and I'm like I said, I'm doing episode 4 now. This is 8, so I'm 5 episodes behind on YouTube right now.
And you think about it, right? So I think there's like a leverage that you can build off of. So like, think about I mean, if you're not gonna do it, I'm gonna ask you for the footage. I'll go because I know I need to start putting out more content, right?
Right.
But think about you put out a couple reels, and like what's cool with like Instagram, you can tag like collaborators, right? So what's awesome is you post the reel, but it posts on their timeline too.
Yeah, that's what the game day was doing with me when I was doing those tailgate
right.
videos.
So I mean, so that's huge, right? Because
I gained like 200 followers off that in a month.
But now think about your sphere of influence for you. Think about the sphere of influence for like Montone, Kurt, Eddie.
Yeah.
You know, like when you start tagging people and stuff like that, like you just you kind of leverage like the fan bases, and is like a more of a natural growth. Like it's native to, because people are looking for, you know, those people. And oh, cool. You know, it's, hey, look. Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna say no. I don't want you to post, you know, the podcast I came on. Like,
yeah, like what?
You know what I mean?
Like, I haven't done it since the first episode, but I did like a mentions story. So like all people tagged in this episode are everybody mentioned this episode is tagged below, right? And you couldn't see it because there's so many people, but they would share it. Some people wouldn't, some people would, and that just was. Eddie's got up to like, I want to say it's like teetering around like 800 plays, which is nuts.
That's sick though. I mean, like,
I never thought that was gonna happen.
That's just that sphere, right? So like everybody, you start to like, it's just leverage. It's like what, and like bringing on like a bigger name. You just say, well, you definitely want them to share what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, and it's
so like my live show. It's not gonna be live for the listener. It'd be a live recording of it. Is that?
Recorded live, yeah.
Recorded live, yeah. We're recording live right now, but I mean,
an in-person,
yeah. So I'm having me, Nine, Smooth, because Smooth has been on, and he had to reschedule, and then the guy that's brought me on Fox Sports, the Gambler, his name's Sean Brace, you know, Philadelphia sports radio personality, and I'm gonna have him on to talk about, you know, his show, but that's gonna be like a part 2. So that episode will be 2 episodes. So cool. 10 and 11, it'll be a 10, but it'll be split into 2 episodes because I'm doing it live. So I'm gonna make it a 2-hour show.
That's smart.
And the whole second hour, I'm gonna interview Sean for a little bit, and then Smooth and Nye will be my co-hosts, and then we're gonna have the audience ask us questions.
Cool.
Right. So
that's a really good idea too. Right? I mean, it's like getting that like feedback from the people. What's cool too is like they'll pay more attention, right? Like, well, I want to hear my question answered, so now I got to stay.
Yeah, exactly. And
That's
then
smart.
The whole first part, I'm going to probably try to keep that one a little short because I want to have a little bit of an intermission so people can get drinks. But the bar is going to be open so people can get up and go get a drink or whatever. I just have to tell people like you can't be screaming. But I'm going to have like a couple of my friends, you know, walking around with clipboards to people and like, hey, jot down your name and your question. And then in the second part of this podcast, we're going to answer them. Right.
Cool.
So hopefully people are interested in what me, Eddie, and, you know, Smooth do. And then I'm pretty sure it's all gonna be friends that's gonna be there. You know what I mean? I'm not an idiot. I'm not gonna get like some stranger to come. That listens
you
to
never.
me.
I mean, like we talk about this in DJing, right? You never know who's gonna be in your crowd. It could be 1,000 people and nobody important. It could be 10 people and like 5 of them could be the biggest contacts of your life. Like you never really know like who's listening and when.
Oh my God. The last year of my life has been pretty crazy, and
it just happens, right? Like overnight, just like holy crap.
That's what the thing is, man. I started this podcast, and it's like it's opening doors for me, and I'm like, this is nuts. Like I never thought this would happen, but I'm glad. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that I, you know, can literally just. I'm not making any money yet, but like
you're doing what you love, right? I mean, like, that's so cool. Like you just. Bullshitting with friends. Like, that's what it's all about.
And we were literally recording it for other people to listen to. Yeah. Like, if people get to this far in the episode, I'm gonna be stoked. Where
do we?
I don't keep tracks. I have no idea. I don't know what this means. So the 2,187th bar. So
no idea.
So you count it 4 beats. That's a lot. That's a long time.
That's a lot of beats.
We're teetering around a little bit over an hour. If I had to guess, there's a way to change this, but
I think if I look at the camera, like hour.
What does it say?
Hour 14.
Yeah. We're around the same thing. So do you have? Is that your second question too?
No. So that was kind of all under the umbrella of the first question. So the second question was, and this is, you know, I think about a lot of the things that I would kind of teach my son, and I think a lot of them stem from mistakes I've made over the years. And I will say most of the things and the advancements I've made in my career is because I screw up a lot.
Yeah, I feel that.
So I wanted to ask you, if you want to make it the podcast or DJing, what's one thing in life that, like a mistake that you made that really sucked at the time, but you look back on and say,
checking my
awesome.
ego.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You answered that one really fast, but like this is, I thought this was really hard.
I was asked that before. That kid that I mentioned earlier, Kev, I was on his podcast, and and a lot of people learned about my struggle with that. I got a lot of shit like really early in my career of DJing, and I had no business playing Dusk or all these big rooms, but because I knew people, I was playing these rooms when I knew I should have. I was playing Denim, like what? So, I still have a little bit of an ego, but I check it.
You have to, in this industry. You have like a little bit of like, I can go do this type.
Yeah. But I checked myself hard body because I look back and I lost a lot of relationships. Like that hurt me and Tom. That's what spawned the whole daily thing. Like, so there's a lot of things I lost in my life because of my ego, and now I have it in check where it's not really affecting me anymore.
And you know, if you don't mind me saying, I definitely notice it too because I from knowing you for all these years, I think if you don't mind me saying, like, no. I mean, you definitely had I don't want to say like an ego, but like you were very confident early on, but there's definitely been a shift of you becoming much more humble.
Oh yeah.
And I think it really directly correlates with your humbleness versus like how much you've taken off for the past couple of years. And like I see it, right? Like you know, a lot of people that are doing all the things you're doing now, you're playing all the time, like you have your podcast, you got a lot of stuff going on for you, you know, stateside, like all these things happening. But like you just become more and more humble. Like a lot of people would say, "Oh, now's the time to be like, now I really got a big fucking ego because like I'm doing shit."
And I feel like, to be honest, anything I've ever gotten, so since I checked that, is the positivity thing spin, right? So if I keep positive and keep nice and just enjoy the ride, I've noticed my life is just done great things, right? Just listening to the universe, listening to my gut, and that you can't do that if your ego's in the way.
You just got to go enjoy it, man. That's
literally how I've been living my life. And it's actually, it's a gift and a curse, to be honest with you. Like, some people don't think I prioritize my time, and that's something I really want to work on.
I can help you there too. So like these are like that. You're hitting all the things that like I've suffered. Like I hit a like not a dark place in my life, but like I hit this like I need to be so much better than what I am. Just this like kind of a low point of like how can I get better, and like time management, productivity, like business, finances, like all those things.
Yeah, I need help on all those things. And someone just told me recently. She's probably gonna listen to Grizz. This is Grizz talking. She wants me to kind of find someone that kind of help me push that direction. That kind of help me with that. I didn't know people did that. I didn't know that was a job.
But people do. I mean, if you think like there's coaches, there's mentors out there.
Yeah.
And like just trying to figure out like all this stuff I've learned over the past couple of years. Like, dude, I'm happy to help. Like I will share with you everything I know when it comes to productivity and time management.
I just think I just try to fit too much in. That's like my problem. I'm big into the gym, right? Yeah. So like the other day, what was it? I had to be over at the station in Talkin at 3:00. And then after that I had my stateside event, right? So I woke up late, rushed to the gym, rushed my workout, and I wound up hurting my back, right? Oh. So coming home, I'm like, oh God, what am I going to do? Like I literally just pulled this thing in my neck. That's got to keep pushing, right? Shout out to Grizz again. She was like, I'll help you. Like whatever you need, I'll help you.
Keep fucking going. Yeah. I have this written on my whiteboard at work, and I just have KFG.
Yeah. She's like, what can I do to help? I was like, if you can go to my house and like make me food, so I don't have to like worry about making food. She's like, all right. I let her in via my phone. She made me food for lunch and dinner. Thank God.
That's awesome.
Yeah. She's so cool with that. She's very helpful for me. She made me did those things for me, and then I was like, all right, cool. Thank you. Did all this thing. I went to do this taping from 3 to 5, which is so cool. We're trying to make it like a normal thing, hopefully. Fingers crossed. It's not paid or anything, but it's definitely getting my voice and my name out there.
Again, but like if you go and do it and you love it, who cares?
Yeah,
like, just go
for sure.
Just go live life. Man.
And then I had my stateside event. And was it that same day? 3 to 5, and because my stateside event started at 8, and then get this, I had to eat. And then I forgot I had Smooth's mixer in my car, and I had to drop that off at Wicked Wolf first, and then go to my gig.
Oh.
So it was like piling up, right? All these things, and this is what I try to do all the time: is pile as much stuff as I can, and then try to figure it all out. And that's what I have to get better at. I have to really start prioritizing my time. Like today, another one. And I woke up at 10:30. Fell back asleep till 12 because I had blackout shades and I thought it was, nighttime. You know what I mean? So I just need an alarm clock to come out, punch me in the face, and open up the shades.
They make alarm clocks that actually get progressively louder the longer you hit snooze.
Well, I've gotten away from alarm clocks as well. Right. I just let my body wake myself up.
Ooh,
I know it's dangerous. It's very dangerous, but
it
works. I'm like Kramer. I have a mental alarm. Yeah. Just don't let the power go out when I'm in the hot tub. Yeah. I love that you know what I'm talking about because some people are like, Seinfeld, what's that?
I'm never big into Seinfeld, but I do know like a decent number of the fun episodes.
That was a classic episode. But yeah, if you're willing to help me, I'm willing to listen, man.
I will happily help.
Yeah.
Now, are you a book guy? Do you like reading books?
I haven't picked up a book since college, so
I just from what you're saying, I got probably one or two in mind that I think would really help you, like short term.
Yeah,
they're not like heavy books, like 150.
I do have a goal eventually once I find something I'm interested in to read 10 pages a day, kind of thing.
And it goes by fast, right? Like a lot of like the best books that I've read are like in that 150 page range. But if you're reading 10 pages a day, that's like 2 weeks. Through an entire book.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's 2 books a month. That's 24 books in a year. Like that's a lot. That's a lot of like stuff. You know what I mean?
So maybe I'll dial it back to like 5 pages.
No. I'm saying like 10 pages is easy, right? I think what you'll find too, like, I'm weird when it comes to reading. Like when I get into something, like I don't sleep. I just keep reading. So like I had a night just the other night, like Nicole had gone to sleep and I wanted to keep reading this book. So I actually sat on the floor outside our bedroom. I don't know why. I have an entire house, but I just felt the need to sit there because I didn't want to wake her up. And I just kept reading because I was like so into like the book I was reading. So, but I think with what you're looking to do, I have probably a couple things that would help you. Either books or a couple like really good YouTube videos that talk about, how to better manage your time and really prioritize figuring out who you are and using that to build your priorities.
Yeah.
So this is like a big thing for me. So like I'm trying to really start sharing a lot more of the stuff I've learned, and I would love to do it like on one-on-one just to see like how it goes and kind of go from there.
Yeah, so, I would love that, man. I need all the help I can get.
Dude, I will happily help. I love it's fun, man. I like helping people.
Same, man. That's I love helping people too. So maybe we can help each other.
You have helped me out a lot already, man. Believe me, like just like letting me go and open for that night at
yeah, dude.
That was awesome. You know what I mean? Because I hadn't had a chance to like really get back into DJing, and to freaking your first episode, I was like, I don't know what it's going to be like, 3 weeks of not DJing. Bro, I'm at like 2.5 years.
Oh, yeah.
So even just doing little things like that, it just feels so good.
Hey, man, now that I'm mad, I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want it to be true because it's a lot of work. But, once I start managing this account, I'm going to have, nights where someone can't do or whatever, and they already liked you. So we'll be good to go there.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, once I take on more, they have a group of guys they want to use right now. I'm going to try to wean that out and then just get my guys in there.
We should talk after this because I've talked to Smooth about some of this too, and like I think there's I like what you've said in the past about like, and I think a lot of the more successful bars are built around here's the vibe that we want at our bar. Book guys that do this.
Yep, and that's one thing.
I think that's huge, right?
Yeah.
I think like if you think about when we first started DJing, like 15 years ago or so, like think about the nightclubs that were huge, like Rumor. You have like I'm trying to think like everybody, like even Mad River had a vibe, right? Like everybody played very open format, fun stuff, but like that was the Mad River vibe, and right. I think it'd be cool to see that kind of come back at certain places. That way, like it's not the same guys playing the same stuff.
And that's
everywhere.
what I think. I was the thing I pitched in this meeting. I was like, you guys have no consistency.
Yeah.
Right. You have a DJ that comes in here and he plays like at niche places, so he's playing like Motown records at prime time. Yeah, that's cool, man. Just for a quick in and out sing along or something. But at the place where I'm going to be booking, like the vibe is not that. The vibe you need to accommodate to who's walking through that door because it's a there's nowhere around. There's nothing else around it, right? So it's a destination. And it's, attached to a wedding venue. So like you're getting wedding people, you're getting people that are going there for the night.
Yeah.
And like you have to be able to read that room. So you have to you're getting, a wedding party of 25 to 35. You better be in your 2000s bag heavy, right? Just to get them locked in. And then you can do whatever you want. But you're going in there playing the wrong records, you're not going to get that, right?
And I think I like what you said before about wanting to take a couple guys under your wing. I truly believe, like, if you can DJ a wedding successfully, like, you can take a lot of that skill, like the ability to read a room, and just bring it, like, anywhere, dude. Like, doing private events is how I learned how to DJ and read a room. Because you look around and it's like, all right, the girls are singing, the girls are dancing. I know I'm doing a good job. That's all that matters, right?
And that's literally how you do a nightclub.
Yeah.
You get the hot girls to dance, everybody else is going to dance.
Yeah, and like you get these guys, oh, how come you're not playing this? Because I'm not playing for you. Like, if this group of girls is having a good time, you're going to have a good time. I don't care what record you want to hear. It doesn't work that way. Like, they're having a good time, you're going to have a good time. Fights don't start. You're drinking more, and it's a positive place.
Right.
Like,
and that's one compliment I've gotten is I know how to circle people to the bar.
Yeah.
With my weird mashups that I try to do live. I mean, like some people might not like, Sweet Home Alabama, but I'm dropping that record. You know what I mean? And then that's my cycle, right? So people go to the bar, get a drink, and they come back. I'm already in another song.
And it's funny, too, that you bring that up because I think, was it Kurt you're talking about?
Yeah.
This? Yeah. So it's interesting because, like, that is, like, when I first started learning how to DJ at a bar, like, that was big. They're like, hey, make sure, because if you're, like, just playing hits all night long, it's good, but, like, you got to bring it down to like hits where people can take a break and go to the bar, go to the bathroom for a little bit, and you ramp it back up. It's like you build it up and then it's like a wave. You're kind of like peaks and valleys. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I don't do roller coasters.
I know. So how do you do in the water though?
It's funny. I love swimming. I grew up boogie boarding, and I tried surfing when I was out in Hawaii. I love it. Like I have no problem there. And I've gone on like big Navy ships. But I take like Dramamine and Bonine, and I'm okay there. I've gone on cruises, been okay, but like I don't know. Sometimes I just get real sick and I hate it. But
I appreciate you coming through Maniac. I know this probably wasn't like the easiest ride.
No, man, it was nice. I used to live here, so it was really cool to come back and like kind of see the area. I'm gonna take a little drive around and see what it's like.
Yeah, you're gonna be very depressed. There ain't shit going on here anymore. Well, thank you for having me. I mean, wait. No, thank you for coming.
No, you're so welcome.
Yeah,
welcome to Talking with AJ.
Yeah, Talking with AJ. It's no longer Talking with Talkin. I don't know why I said that, but thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. And look, you didn't think we were gonna have to talk about anything. We're almost like an hour and a half in. So
I feel like we could probably keep going for another 4 hours.
Yeah, that's why I probably should cut it too.
I'm not gonna make them suffer through.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll track the engagement on this one. See if because we went off on a couple tangents and it was fun. So. Thank you guys for tuning in. Episode 8, Talking with Tonka. On the bottom of my screen, you'll see at Talking with Tonka. That's the Instagram, all one word. And then you'll see at DJ Tonka _. That's my personal Instagram. And then you got AJ's. It's DJAJ.
I'm now at DJAJ Zampella.
Yeah, because before it was weird. It was like the one and only DJAJ.
The only DJAJ. And nobody could get it.
It never came up for me.
Yeah,
so this one came up. So I'll put his at the bottom of the screen. For Apple Podcasts and Spotify, it'll be in the description. Give the dude a follow. Because eventually he's going to take his kid to Disney. It's going to be the cutest thing ever.
There will be many pictures.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, reels are dead. Carousels are in. So picture carousels are in. Reels are taking a back seat, which is good because I'm getting tired of making those.
But you're still getting paid for them. Remember that.
Not anymore.
No?
I stopped doing them. I just, I got my first couple payouts. They weren't really what I wanted. So.
Yeah,
and they take a lot of time. I'll just post pictures. I don't know. I don't know. I just lost a love for it when I got my first paycheck. But thank you guys for tuning in. Catch you guys next Thursday. Peace.